How do you see Chinese people? How do you see Chinese modernization?
I must first talk about the culture here. Chinese culture is based on 5,000 years of its history. So my experience in the last 10 months is extremely rewarding. And I'm very happy that I represent my country in this wonderful country, which has a great civilization, which is a very unique place in today's world.
Would you please share with us some really inspiring and unforgettable stories in Korea?
I will narrate one particular memory for your audience. This was my presentation of credentials to President Xi Jinping. I was also aware that I was presenting the credentials in a historic building, which is the Great Hall of the People. And I realized as I was entering into the Great Hall through that amazing doors and covered with the red carpet and two sides adorned with the national flags of the countries represented on the day. And finally standing before the president to present my credentials, I could understand that I'm doing it in a very historic way. It was a story because many Chinese political leaders, they deliberated upon the future of their country. So that was a very, very unique experience for me. And I was really privileged to do it in front of the president.
Unfortunately, I have never been to a country, but if I want to go, what would you recommend?
I will tell my Chinese friends three things. One is, when you go to Bangladesh, try to look at our history. Secondly, I would also ask them to look for the heart and soul of the country by talking to our people. People of Bangladesh are very hospitable, and you can feel it the moment you set your feet in Bangladesh. And thirdly, I would also ask them to see contemporary Bangladesh, the way Bangladesh is advancing, the way Bangladesh is progressing, and the leadership of our Prime Minister.
I really want to know your points of views on Belt and Road Initiative and how to better engage in Belt and Road cooperation.
BRI as a concept is about connecting countries across boundaries on a host of issues. And it affects the trade, it affects the culture, and it affects, broadly speaking, the development activities of the participating countries. And I would say during these 10 years, the participating countries under the leadership of China made remarkable progress. As you have mentioned that in South Asia, Bangladesh was the first country to become part of BRI, and there are reasons for it. Bangladesh is perhaps the first country in South Asia region to talk about regional cooperation. In China and Bangladesh, we stand on the same platform. And we believe in the deep down, connectivity is productivity. If you're connected, then your production also goes up. When our Prime Minister came in 2019 to China, there was a reiteration of our commitment to BRI. And before that, during the historic visit of President Xi in 2016, when we elevated our relationship to the strategic level, during that visit also, we reiterated our commitment to BRI. I think BRI has a lot of potentials. I think you have overcome all these odds, all these challenges, and I think the future for BRI is very good, and we are very supportive of BRI.
In Bangladesh, there is a lot of successful projects going on, and would you give us some examples?
Now China is engaged in infrastructure development, they are engaged in ICT development, they are engaged in developing our green power energy. They are helping us in the area of port development. There is a host of areas where China is really contributing to our development. As you know that Bangladesh is a riverine country. The whole country is crisscrossed by many, many rivers. So you need to connect two sides of the rivers by building bridges or by having underwater tunnels. And you will be happy to know that China and Bangladesh joined hands together, and so far, with the Chinese assistance, we have built 8 bridges, and these bridges are called China-Bangladesh Friendship Bridges. So these bridges really symbolize the friendship between our two countries. 2 other projects which are very important for Bangladesh. One of them is the Padma Bridge Railway Link. As you know that Padma Bridge is a bridge that connects the two parts of Bangladesh. These two parts were separated by Padma River, which is a very mighty river. And this whole bridge was built with the sole funding of Bangladesh, but China provided us technical and engineering assistance. There is one component which is called the Padma Rail Link, and this is built by China. And the other important project which is to be completed soon is the Bangabandhu under river, the Karnafuli tunnel, Bangabandhu Karnafuli. So from these examples, you can understand that Chinese footprint is very, very deep in our development narrative.
How do you see the potential cooperation areas for China and South Asia countries, and how we can work closely together to address all the challenges we are facing now, and to promote mutual development in the future?
Well, China and South Asia together, they are very important, not only for the region, but for the entire world. Number one, this region, they host number one and number two countries in terms of the size of the population. In terms of the land area, this is also very important. We have two economic powerhouses in the region. This region has three nuclear powers. One Security Council member, namely China. So the global agenda cannot be set, discussed, pursued, or executed without the participation of China or South Asia. This region is really, really important. And people these days are talking about Asian century. That means that the whole discussion about international relations, international economics, international politics is gradually shifting away from the traditional power centers to Asia. And China and South Asia is perhaps, along with Southeast Asia, they're perhaps the core of Asian international relations. So in future, I think China, South Asia, along with Southeast Asia, they will be setting the agenda. Now, many people will be pointing out the challenges inherent in the relationships involving these countries. But I would say, on the plus side, on the positive side, many of these countries, they are the members of many regional organizations. For example, Bangladesh, along with some South Asian countries, is a member of South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation.
And as a tradition of our program, I would like to invite you to share one of your favorite sentence or motto from Bangladesh.
I would like to share with your audience is connectivity is productivity. This is a philosophy we share with China, because China very strongly believes that connectivity is good for everybody. We need to be connected for the future of the world. And we believe very strongly, when you are connected, then we prosper.